This is plush, mate. This is swing. Who says crime doesn't pay?
All right, there you go. Some new Warhammer 666, courtesy of Formorian Productions. That'll be coming out soon, so you can order it. But in having me talk about it, why don't we bring the guy on who actually created the whole damn thing? Let's bring on Lee. What's up, Lee?
Hey, how are ya?
Oh,
good to be back.
Yeah, you're very prolific in your releases. So we're
Yeah.
back. We're back with a new one already. So
Yeah, but to be fair though, that last one was recorded like a while. When I say a while, a while for me, and then it just took forever to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and stake that as my excuse.
I gotcha. Now this one is a self-title, right? I didn't see a title on it. It's
No,
the Warhammer.
it did have one, and then I was like, no, it just didn't hit right. Like it was a great song title, and I was actually going to call it "I Didn't Come Here to Make Friends," and I had that going for such a while, and then everything kind of shifted in my life, so it was like it just didn't feel the same. So I was like, I couldn't think of one that did. So I was just like, fucking Warhammer 666. There you go. As a statement.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I listened to it yesterday because I got it yesterday. Well, now you can probably hear me. I got it yesterday, and listened to it. Thought it was killer. And then today I did a really good, thorough listen to it. All the way through again. And I gotta say, dude, this is some good top shelf black metal in my book.
Thank you.
I like it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, this is good. I like that. You got the black metal sound down in my book. You got it down, but then you can also do some more varied stuff when you slow down and just have the more. I want to say what's the word? Not the Damn, I had it and it left. But anyway, that style of black metal where it's mostly about sounds and things like that. Not like that, It's just not melancholy or none of that wimpy stuff. It's just it hits good, dude. Like I think what your intent on your songs, you hit what you're trying to achieve on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I get with this. But then when it's aggressive and heavy, it's just like fucking yeah, man. This is real black metal. It's black metal.
Yeah. And I mean, it was, I kind of hummed and ahed. Like me and Shredbeard, we went backwards and forwards on this because at some point I was kind of like, I want to do this. I mean, half of it I thought sounded really good, and the other half was like sounded like the first half. But you know what I mean? And so I was like, fucking something's not right, and the songs were a little bit wishy-washy as far as what I was trying to do. I didn't get the same feeling from when you listen back to something, you're like, what the fuck was I trying to say? And I was like, and then I had the event happen back in Australia, and that just kind of flipped everything. So I actually scrapped. But I had like 12 or 13 songs written for it, and then just started cutting. So I kept like 4, and then I added 2 that I kind of I thought were they weren't going to make it, and then they just made sense at the time, and then I wrote 2 more. So it was like, this feels right. And then I was like, but I started second guessing myself all over the place because now I started to change things. And I started listening to the first, like the ram it up your ass thing. And I was like, this sounds nothing like that. But I was like, but it's kind of angry. It's more pointed, and it's not as, look, it's a black metal album. There's wolves on it. You know what I mean? It wasn't so much something like that. So I thought it was different for what I've been listening to, and I thought, fucking hey, let's just go with it.
Yeah, I think it has a more aggressive edge than what the other releases. I only have 2, but the other 2 that I have, this one seems to be a little more pissed off. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and I think it's because like the lyrics were about, like directed at certain definite things. You know what I mean? So the whole idea of I didn't come here to make friends was just, there was a lot of I mean, you probably get it because you're way more visual. What's the word? You're a lot more people kind of know you, so that they were coming to you. They're asking for things, or they're can we play with your band? Here's my CD and this and that. And I was like, I think I'm fucking doing that. Like I was definitely talking to people, which I didn't necessarily enjoy talking to, and I thought, what a fucking horrible. I mean, why am I doing it? I'm 50. I'm never going to be Taylor Swift, right? So what does this matter? So that song was really about me, and I'm like, I would not be speaking to this person if I didn't think I could get something off. So I mean, as honest as that is, and as horrible as that is to say out loud, I was like, fucking great song, you know what I mean? So that was where all those words came from. So a lot of the stuff is real kind of sounds real stupid, but like are very much looking at me and going, yeah, there's some real horrible things that you do. Let's write a song about them. Let's celebrate.
There you
so
go.
that was how I used that. So that's that. I think that's why it hits different than the. Oh look, it's a song about World War II. I was never in World War II. Here's a song about like wolves in the snow. I've never seen snow until I got here. So I think this is more authentic.
Yeah, it has more of a personal attachment to you. You know, it's more of a personal thing. So you'd probably be able to pull more things out of yourself from it to put into it. You know, yeah. And that's funny you bring that up because a lot of things in metal underground, people like it or not, is very transactional. You know, like the things. You know, obviously I'm sending you this CD so you'll play it on your show, and but I mean that's a fair shake too. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it does cost money to produce these things. It does, you know, someone has to pay the bill somewhere unless, you know, you're rich. So it is what it is. Yeah.
And I mean, look, I mean, I understand the hypocrisy of what I just said to what I'm doing now, but like, again, like I've met you, I've spoken to you even briefly as it was. And then like you save, I mean, for everyone in the chat, I'm pretty sure we all share the same sentiment. Like you get us through the day with work jams. Like that is a saving grace for a lot of us because at that point when you come on, for me, it's halfway through my day and it drags. So
it gives you a little juice to get through the rest of the day. That's the whole point of it.
And even if the songs, I'm like, I don't know who this is, I don't particularly enjoy it, the chat's there. So it's like there's people that you can interact with if you can, you know, while you're at work. So, I mean, I really respect this show as far as what it does for me personally. And I'm pretty sure everyone else in the chat who gets, off on work jams is fucking right there with me.
Yeah, so. Work jams too, you know, is we all, if you're familiar with it, and if you're not for whatever reason, it's this my iHod. I call my old band was Hod, so I call it my iHod. It's my iPod, and I just put it on shuffle. I have I call it the all killer no filler playlist. And I just let that play, you know, just let it fucking play whatever it wants. So, which is for me kind of fun too, because I don't know what it's gonna play. I mean, I have an idea, but I'm not sure, you know. And sometimes like, damn, it's kicking ass today, you know. And then sometimes like, clunker. But most of the time,
you'll play something, but you'll play something. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'll go and check it out, and I'll physically write that prick down. And then when I come back from lunch or something, I'll listen to the band's like from first album to wherever I get to before I have to leave. Yeah, and it happens more times. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like I go through it, you know, and I'll pick something up. It's one of those things where I kind of look forward to the 12 o'clock point of my day because I know I'm going to get that little alert. It says, hey, watch an Necron. And I'm like, yes, fucking A, hit. And then try to hide it from everyone else that I'm on chat instead of working.
For me, too, because, you know, I work from home now. So, you know, if I get bored of, like, whatever was on YouTube or TV, I just want to hear some music for a while. So that's what I used to do. And I said, well, shit, I might as well stream it. Yeah. You know, maybe someone else will appreciate some jams, too, because usually the radio is terrible. Or, you know, they don't have time to be flipping through their phone at work and, you know, pulling up shit or whatever the case. You know, you can just stream it and have a good jam for a while.
Yeah. And I mean, that first song you just played, like just kind of getting back to the original point of it.
Yeah.
Like that first little soundbite that came out was my little dig at, like, you know, crime pays. It was like this whole scene is based on three kids that did some gnarly shit, and in any other walk of life, those people, like, the lives would be ruined, but it wasn't the case, except for the, you know, Euronymous really didn't benefit, but everyone else in that scene who rather, you know, killed a gay dude, burnt down buildings, their lives did not get worse. And I'm like, this has to be really the only scene that thrives on just being a cunt. You are the bigger cunt. You are the more attention you get.
Notoriety, attention, everything. Yeah. And they're lucky they did it in Norway. you know,
Mhm.
where the prison system, like if they went to that in the U.S., it'd probably be a different story.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
they would go to our prison system, and it wouldn't be
well,
such a
maybe. I mean,
cakewalk. I
look,
don't know.
Miss A, the watch. She watches Gypsy Rose things. I can't stand this chick, and she's now famous for killing a mum. Yeah, actually, not just killing a mum, getting some other kid who couldn't think for himself to kill her mum. This whole society now is based on this horrible. No one's famous for being anything talented anymore. It's just the shit that you can get up to and just come out the other side of it.
What horrible crap you can get away with,
Yeah.
or get notoriety for. The chat makes a good point. Rap music is kind of like that too. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It thrives on a lot of negativity. The more negative,
No,
but
that
whatever
is
they
true.
did, influence.
But I mean, a lot of that too. It's not all of them that like that scene didn't really kick off like that, did it? It was rap was.
No,
I mean,
that was not.
it was more of
That was already established
Yeah.
thing before all the crazy stuff started going off on it.
Yeah.
I mean, so was metal, but you're gonna straight up talk black metal. Yeah, I mean, we had the the original black metals. I always say it's the original black metal death metal scene. The Hellhammers and Bathories, Destruction Sodoms, all those type of bands. Were like to me the original black metal scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the mid '90s, black metal second wave. We all know that's the second wave of black metal. How do you feel about that?
The what part? What was the question? The second part? How do I feel about the second part?
A lot of people don't consider like the '80s, early '80s stuff like Bathory or Destruction. I'm talking like all their early releases. They don't consider that black metal. They'll be like, oh well, that's more, thrash. It's not really black metal. And I'm like, no, it's black metal. They're singing about Satan and it's metal.
Well, I think like with the second wave, they wrote it kind of. They wanted to sound black metal. I mean, I guess the Hellhammers and the Possessed and the Bathories, I don't think that was really the point, right? They were. I mean, I believe to the extent that a lot of it was just due to a lot of these people just didn't have the money to go into good studios, so they did what they could, like the punk scene, I guess.
That's when they were expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have the benefit of, like, I've got this crappy computer and I do everything on that, and I can make this thing sound 3 times as good, maybe 2 times as good, but as like your average Darkthrone album. But I mean, I try to like make everything sound in that vein. You know what I mean? Because you can't have clear drums, or you can't have any, and if you are, your songs better be fucking good, because a lot of I think the atmosphere of like, I mean, people look at these albums and like, yeah, they sound fucking good. It gives you that feeling. What is, the riffs are kind of cool, but I think if you really heard what was going on, it probably, if the clarity was there, I don't know if it would have the same kick. If they had a Bob Rock production on Transylvanian Hunger, like I'd love to see how that would hold up instead of what they did. It was new and it was exciting. I think going back into the 80s, they didn't aim for it. That's just what they could do. That's just what they could afford.
Working with the tools available to them.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe it's more pretentious, the second wave, but that's where I jumped. I mean, like Beherit, but I mean, the second wave had already started. So, I mean, really, when I started really getting my teeth into it, there was the second wave, which was, really pumping. So that was what got me in. So I've got to really kind of lean towards the Darkthrones and the
second wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, rekindled like my interest in this more of a visual style of metal, because the first wave obviously with the leather and spikes and all that, Hellhammer, everybody it was image heavy, and then it kind of death metal, it kind of went away for the most part. I mean, you still had some death metal bands, but then like the 90 91 hit, 92 death metal bands were kind of soft, and it's just the way it was, except for like maybe like underground ones, or like Deicide or something, who were still like with extreme like sound, but maybe not so like even Deicide backed off on the whole image things too. They started just kind of just wearing t-shirts and jeans.
Yeah.
But then it was cool to see a scene pop up that like, hey, not only is this fucking music evil, we're embodying the whole fucking package here with the the leather and the spikes and all that. And I was like, fuck it. I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what extreme metal it should be. And this is all, of course, my opinion. I don't gotta agree with it or not. But it's my opinion. It should be all encompassing. Fucking thing. Of if you're gonna be like totally sound like you're from hell and evil, well, you should look at too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to see fucking how can I word this? I don't want to see someone that's like Marduk. It sounds like Marduk, but they they look like they just got off the ship at AutoZone or something. It's just, you got to have some type of make it match what your message is too a little.
Yeah. And it was like two things. I was just kind of talking to Aaron from Goat Throne before I got on here, and I was saying, he goes, "Oh, good luck for for the show." And I said to him, like, I miss the 48 hours I spent in Texas, as kind of gay as that sounds. And he goes, "Well, not as gay as that Poison shirt you wore." And I'm like, "Well, fuck you. I'll go upstairs and put a striper shirt on." And so luckily I didn't. But I did come down and the wife's like, "You don't do it. Don't fucking do it." So I was watching, if you're familiar with White Filth. So he's a guy over in, I think, Estonia or somewhere in that part of the world. And he just does this massive, broad section of black metal from that side, real kind of underground stuff. And he was interviewing a band from Denmark. And they were saying how good they were and how great live they were. And then when they got on camera, they were just bubbly and giggly, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, what? How would you be able to like show this and say this is my band? I love White Filth, but I speak to him as much as I can, and I try to upset him by sending him things because he can't get them. But what he does get is the bill from customs to say, "Hey, you got some shit to come and get." So he gets like $40 bills from me when I fucking send stuff to him. So he's a fun guy to fuck around with. But yeah, this band was like, I'm sitting going, this could have been any 90s alternate band you can name. And I was like, why are they so fucking happy?
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind that they can play this type of stuff, and makes you lose faith in a little bit of some of the newer things, because I'm like, this has got to be a cosplay thing. It has to be.
I know one thing with black metal. I blame, and I hate to say this, but I blame America for softening down black metal, because we were the ones who started introducing all the post black metal stuff into the black metal scene. Well, not the black metal scene, but trying to say, hey, this is what the future of black metal. So you got, what, like Wolves in the Throne Room, or what's that one that's touring with Emperor, the other terrible band, but they're super popular. And I forget the names of all these bands because I don't listen to them. So they're not on the tip of my tongue. But I remember when all that was happening. I remember when Mystium made their style shift from like being the straight black metal to this psychedelic black metal thing and all that. And I didn't like it. Like Justin, it. We call it hipster black metal. It really wasn't black metal, and I hate it because it spread to the rest of the world. Like people are like, oh, I can do this. Agalot. Thank you, James.
Yeah.
I don't like any of that stuff. I thought it was like castrated black metal. You could have a pit bull, but if you castrate him, he's not really a pit bull anymore. He's just a little snuggly fella. So, I don't care. I think, you can laugh, you can have fun, and do whatever, and all that. But I don't know. At a certain point, if you're a black metal band or a true black death band, you got to have something that fucking makes it. Even when you're doing like an interview or something like that, that you're still serious. You know what I mean? You still have like a serious attitude of this stuff, man.
Yeah. Some of it has feeling though. Like I must admit, we were completely off our tits one night up in the lounge room on the couch, and You know how YouTube just kind of does its own thing after a while if you don't fucking.
Oh
choose
yeah,
anything?
yeah, it starts this. Okay,
And
you might like this.
yeah, check this shit out. So Wolves in the Throne Room did come on, and you know when you're kind of in that weird state where you're waking up, you go to sleep, you're waking up, passing out, and something was playing, and I was like, fucking A. Like at that point, I was on that journey, and I was like, fuck it, this is the best thing I've ever heard. What is it? And then Wolves in the fucking Throne Room. So I was like, some of it is if you're in the right state of mind. I don't know what that state of mind is. I guess half drunk and passing out. It maybe some of it hits, or maybe that's where you're at. But I don't understand. I don't know where the fury is. I definitely don't know where the anger is, and that's probably the main reason that I like it. But I can be wrong. Look, there's tons of it out there, and I said this in the video. Like, let it all come out, and let's see what's around in 20 years. If it's good and people are buying it, then it must be good, and I must be wrong. But if it's gone in a few years, then guess what? Yeah, it was shit. Like, that's just the way it is. Let the people decide whether the fucking band's gonna work or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like dumping on anyone who like likes them. This is just my opinion. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I was more into, American black metal that was like, Krieg or Judas Iscariot and, things of that nature, Demon Sea. And I just thought this wave of bands like Spirit World was saying, the worst one was Death Haven in my book, that just like castrated.
And they look shitty too. Like, you would never guess in a million years.
Yeah. Like, I was like, well, you guys just stop saying, you have black metal influences and you pull from black metal. Just do your fucking thing, but just don't call it black metal. How about that? I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But enough of talking about these knuckleheads, dude. Let's talk about Warhammer666. So you got this new self-titled CD coming out. When is it coming out? When can people get it? What's
May 1st. May 1st, it'll be out. Which is May Day in Europe. I don't know how that applies to us, but it was a good day to pick. We did have another day, depending on how deep in the weeds you want to go, but we did have another day planned. And that day was it was about a week and a half ago or something. And then someone else had something come out. So I was like, you know what? I'm not fucking with this date. I'm not going to split people's whatever's. So I was like, well, let's push this back. So we pushed that back. And, so now we have our own day, unless, fucking Jerusalem wants to put something else out in fucking a week's time. But, it's something where it was probably better for me anyway, because we were dicking around with what type of layout we wanted to do, what packaging. So by the time it came to us, it would have been late anyway. So,
Yeah.
Next time we won't be so fucking nice, infuriator.
Hey, I don't know who you're talking to, Fraser, but you're telling one of us you need to update your medical archives. Those should be private.
Oh,
what the hell you got access? You bastard.
I guess he's talking to, I don't know. Everything's on there. Put it on there for me, Fraser. You can fucking do your talk to whatever. I'd love to see what it says at the end.
Now that you mention it, yeah, it's Drucifer. So, yeah. Who's putting out Infuriator? Is that coming out on a label, Drucifer, or are you doing it yourself, self-release? I don't even know. But I got high praise of that band from some people too. They really liked it. Yeah, I know. Medical Archives. I think he meant Metal Archives, of course.
Texas has something in the water, man. You guys have got some fucking serious something going on down there that's just not the rest of the world. I don't know if it's like some bubble that we don't get out of, so we're not listening to other shit, but every band I'm hearing from Texas is just like fucking better than the last one. It's
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like we've been like an untapped market for decades. For like, every once in a while, a band will break out of it, but for the most
Pantera.
part, yeah,
that's what you guys gave the world, Pantera. Which is a criminal, really, isn't it?
Don't forget to blame Louisiana too. They're a little guilty of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and, we're gonna blame East Texas, Dallas, and Louisiana for Pantera. They have nothing to do with South Texas. So
Yeah.
I'm watching
And
my
nothing's-
hands of it.
And it's not like the old Florida scene, right? It's not the same stuff. Like it's
No.
extreme, but everything's got a personality, and it's not like just punk or black or death, or it's a little mixture. And
the thing with people don't like, if you're not from Texas, you don't realize is the only two cities that are like within like maybe a little over an hour from each other, like major cities, is San Antonio and Austin. But everything else, it's like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So it really is, you know, each little area makes its own thing going on, you know. And you're seeing that now with, you know, Houston always just has killer bands. I blame it on them. Just it's a big fucking city, first of all. So there's a lot of people there. So Houston is always, and you know, everybody shares band members, so that helps too. You know, you got quality people jumping in from one band to another band, you know, and all that. The Valley, now we got, you know, Hexea, and there's a bunch of other bands down there too. Dallas has like currently like Bastis and Tyrant Smite. I like those two bands. I like Steel Burning Hand, but I think they're on hiatus. And San Antonio, I mean, I'm going to toot my horn because I don't know who else to say. Pius Levis. There's a new band, Worm King, that's pretty good. And then we got Black Jackal, and there's some other bands around, you know, that are killer too. But you guys are, you know, doing things. So, and then and he's over there in El Paso. You know, you got Obeson, Satanic Goat Ritual.
Yeah, fucking night.
They have their own thing going on over there too. You know, so jeez.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's because now it's like everything's good that nothing's like, I'm just going to sound dumb, but everything's so good nothing stands out, or the stuff that you're hearing is like, I mean, how good has good got to be now to get to something that's breaking out of Texas into, say, like a European market? Like, I mean, you could come down and just pillage Texas and bring out like a half a dozen bands that are just fucking amazing, like international type of standard, but I mean, I think it's like that. I mean,
it's good that, you know, I don't know. I want to say if everything's so fucking like good. I just think bands have a standard. You know, when you're playing and you see other bands perform at a high standard, if you have any type of intelligence going on, you know, you have to. If you're going to do this, you're going to have to at least meet that standard or surpass it. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the band that's like, you know, kind of like, So I think a lot of bands in Texas just like playing with other bands, and they see the standards that they have to do to, you know, to get to a next level type of thing. It's a good thing. Friendly competition, is that the right word? I don't know, but it's just, you know, quality control in Texas is pretty good for a lot of the bands.
For sure.
So I think a lot of this is like you play with someone and you say, well, if they're fucking good, I got to step my game up. So you know you're going to push yourself to you know, write better music and whatever the case.
Yeah, and Hexea, like I used to love what was the name? Is it Pete Sandoval? So his drumming always to me was like that. The extreme drummer looked like him. And then I got to see and hear JD. Now JD, he would be my favorite drummer in metal at the moment. I'm not sucking penis or fucking kissing ass, but like as far as just the blast beats, I've never seen or heard a cleaner blast beat than JD.
It's really good.
And it's like it comes like a natural. It's like him brushing his teeth in the morning. It's just. I listen to my stuff back. If you take all the music and the fuzz out of it, I'm like, oh shit, like this is, I don't know what's going on. I got arms flailing like they're having seizures, you know, and it seems like this fucking guy just, I don't know if he popped out a note, or for me he did because I just got here, but definitely he was like some guy that's, I remember, like I would have, if I had the money, JD, I'd let you play, or I'd make you play, I'd buy it. I'd make you play every fucking song that I got, because I think it would just sound phenomenal if I could, you know, play like that.
Yeah.
You know, and that guy, the guy you had on the other day, he's in the chat. I only know him as JH because he's in the chat, and he plays on everything, and he fucking can play everything.
Oh,
and
Jake. Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
I
Jake,
mean,
the Texas bass.
Yeah. Like I've kind of become a jack of all trades and master of none at this point. Like I think I just know enough to make it dangerous, but just dangerous enough to, if you put enough reverb on it, he might be able to play. But like to be able to pull off the shit that they do is, you know, I don't know where that shit comes from, to tell you the truth.
Francisco says he's mine. Leave him alone. He's not lending them out.
Well, I don't know what I don't know what I could offer him, but fucking hell, man, he's you know, and he plays guitar too. Like the guy's a bit of a, like, you know.
Yeah, he's
a triple threat.
It's annoying. He's so talented, man. I'm like, God damn it. Plays guitar great. You know, writes great music, records, does great recordings. Just a
and he's not a prick either. He's a nice guy.
He's like, nah, man. He's like fucking humble as hell.
Yeah.
Cool. Doesn't like power trip or ego trip. Like Frazier over here, you know, he played just one show. He thinks he's ready to headline Walking now.
Frazier's awesome. If I want to get him to write all my bios and all my fucking lyrics, and I reckon that'd be amazing.
Fucking Frazier. Frazier just shows up. He's a rock star. Where's my mic?
Oh yeah.
That's fucking great. Hey, Paul. What's going on, dude? Yeah. All right, dude.
I'm laying off the drum machines too. Apparently that got me in trouble last time too. So everyone's got a drum machine. I love it. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, but you're a drummer. So
I know. I take it personal.
I see where you're coming from. And I also see where, you know, people who aren't drummers and maybe, you know, just whatever situation they have, they can't find a drummer and they can't drum. And they'll, you know,
personal
just go
bias.
with the drum. But
it's personal bias. I've taken that on board, and I understand that it's my bias. So.
But I mean myself, I'm not gonna go crazy over a drum machine, you know, band. It's just because I know I'm more, you know, I'm gonna like, if I hear a human being performing the drums, I'm gonna be like, that's more fucking impressive. You know what I mean? It's just, even if there is like imperfections in it, because that's real. You know, it's gonna happen. Yeah. Revik says only real drums. See, even
any real drums are real.
Yeah,
only in Texas.
So, I mean, if you want to use a drum machine for like a demo or something like that, you know, like, no, just to like, you know, kind of get it out there. I'm not going to be like super critical of that, right? Because, you know, whatever. But if you want me to buy like a full length and this and that, I'm probably not gonna buy it unless it's a real drummer on there, or it's something like Kai. You know, where Paul did such a fucking good job. His drums don't really sound like a drum machine to me, and he's gone over a million times this situation, and it works for him. But I'm going to be super impressed. You know, I'm an old school guy, man. I want to see a band, right? Don't you just want to see a band? And I know, like, like if you perform live, you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do, right? You're going to either have to get some session people to help you or whatever, because you can't do it all yourself live, correct? Am I crazy?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't even, you know, at this point, I don't even want to do it. Like, I've got way more enjoyment just sitting here and going over stuff and eliminating a shitty riff or a note or fucking changing a drum. I've got way more interest in the formula than I do showing people that I can reproduce it live. It's just not part of me anymore. Maybe 10 years ago, but at the moment, I'm fucking old enough to know that I'm comfortable where I sit.
Hey, that's true too. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it, you know?
Yeah, but I love showing up to your shows, man. That's the thing. When I see you play, I'm like, fuck, man, the itch is there. But then if someone said, hey, you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, nah. I like watching. I like traveling to see you play.
Okay.
That's always fun.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to pick your brain here and see what you say. What if, you know, JD says, hey, I'll play drums for you live if you want to do this show. Mm-hmm. And you know, and Jake the bass says, well, I'll play bass, and all you got to do is play guitar and sing. How would you feel about that?
it would sound awesome, but it wouldn't sound like the way that I put it down. Because these guys would have to wear boxing gloves to fucking reproduce what I do. You know what I mean? Like, you know that. Like, for you, I would be too embarrassed to show you my guitar style, only because I know it's wrong, and I couldn't show Jake what I play on bass because I know that I don't think I can do it on something that's not tuned to. I'm gonna like, I don't know if you can see this bass, all right? It's a 5-string bass. This is the string that I play. And I know that it's tuned to something. I couldn't tell you what it is unless I plug it in and hit the thing. But I know it's tuned to this guitar, so it's like, and that's the sickness of this. It's like, I love doing it. I love the sounds it makes. I can do some stuff, but I don't know what I'm doing. And I think there's a lot of self-doubt in there, which is like, fucking Jake, if you can work this out and make it sound as kind of rough and raw, but I don't think that's part of him. I think his shit is like JD. It's precision at high speeds, and unfortunately, that might change up something that I do.
So, if I'm following you right, you have your instruments tuned to each other, but you don't know like what the tuning is. Is that?
Well, I know it was in drop D, right? And I got someone said, listen, you know what's going to sound better if you go to standard? The strings will react better for you if you're playing faster. So I got the wife to tune them all to standard tuning, and it's almost opened up a whole new thing again. Like, I'm going, oh shit, that doesn't sound like what I was doing before, but it's you know how guitar playing is all inspiration, right? Not necessarily where your fingers go. It's like, oh, that sounds awesome, I can make something. Well, that's what changing my tuning on this thing has done for me. So yeah, I can tell you what it's tuned to.
Okay.
I can tune it with a little thing if I've got it in front. I can't tune it by ear. I'm not that way inclined. But yeah, I mean, guy like JD can probably tune drums. Like, I just fucking hit him and you know, it sounds like a fucking snare drum.
He probably could, but he's obsessed with that type of thing. That's what he gets into, you know.
Yeah.
I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be like a guitar daily type of guy, and now I pretty much play when I'm writing or at practice. And other than that, I don't really pick up my guitar, and that's kind of sad to say, you know. But it's just the way it is, you know. I just don't play the guitar daily anymore.
Yeah, I'm petrified. If I don't play for a day, I lose something. So you know, 4 o'clock every morning, I'm up. 4:30, I'm in the studio. I play until 6. And then I go to work, come back, and then if the missus isn't teaching, then I'm back down here again and doing it again. So, you know, there's a lot of shit that's recorded on this. It's really embarrassing. But then also too, there's a gem or two in there too. So,
oh, of course, yeah.
I'm getting to that point where I can go, all right, I know what sounds angry or what sounds this or that. So that's rudimentary shit, you know, as far as what these guys are doing and what you can probably fucking do.
Miss A says you got 3 different guitars that are tuned to different tunings.
Yeah, this one's this is tuned to rust. All right,
rust.
Yeah, because it's rusted, so we have to get this one fixed. But that's my Slayer guitar, but I don't think I'll play it. But yeah, I mean, the other 2, I got given a black LTD, and we tuned that to the same tuning as what Devin Townsend tunes his to, which is like that open C, I think it's called. And I think that's what I saw on the TV. But it's got a rattle in it, so I've got to try and get that fixed, and it goes out of tune real fast. But the Les Paul is a fucking dreamboat. Everything sounds good on that guitar. Les
Pauls are one of the best playing guitars out there. I mean,
dude, it's so
I
nice to
one
play.
And I love it. Yeah, I tune to E flat to E flat.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
it just, you know, it's still almost standard, but you just get that little bend, you know. It just sounds good, you know, with fast aggressive music and all that. And Old Slayer tuned to it, so I was like, hey, if it's good enough for Old Slayer, it's good enough for me, you know. I'm
fucking A.
I'm
so,
doing what they do.
That's right. Respect for the fucking old guard.
Yeah, I mean, Hell Waits. That's just one of my favorite, man.
Yeah.
Yep, Slayer tune.
Sure.
Yow.
But nothing makes a song fucking angrier than just some bad shit or some fucking prick that you got to deal with, right? I mean, these guitars can sound like dog's balls. I could pull anything out if I've had a bad day.
Now, speaking of bad days, You were doing some great promos. I was watching for this show. Now, I don't know if you want to speak of it, but
Let's
one,
go.
I was like, "Wow, what's going on here?" I didn't even know what's going on. It was a very Monday Night Raw, Attitude Era promo where apparently you were speaking of someone, and I have a feeling I know who you're talking about, but I don't know for sure. And I was like, "What the hell is going on here?" What's going on? Someone pissed you off or something?
Yeah, so when Fomorian started, I've told the story. We got a phone call from this one guy, Deadite Delight. And look, the guy's obviously got something going on in his life. And I kind of knew it, and I was very cautious of it. I didn't want to do it. Dread kind of solidified as far as we just became friends. We got the same dumb sense of humor. We laugh at all the same stuff. And he just wasn't a part of it. Like, he was almost like, it's not like we didn't want him to be a part of it. He just stepped aside every single time. He was never there when we needed him, and he just kind of always ducked out and just left us holding all the things. And he'd make promises that we didn't know about. So long story short, he pulls himself out of it. Now that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
We don't. It's the best. It was the honourable thing. But behind the scenes, he's talking about, I don't give a shit what he said about me, but he did say some kind of choice words about my wife, and I'm like,
no, that's where you cross.
Why the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it. Like, if you and I had a disagreement, why am I attacking your wife? If I don't like you, I don't know your wife. Why am I attacking her? And I don't understand, and it's like, I just don't get it. And that's where he went. And for a little bit, I was like, I'm not going to go down this road again. I've already done it with some other guy. I'm not going to do it. And so we forgot about him. And then we get a fucking video apology, and it starts off, I didn't want to have to make this video. I can't believe I'm like, yeah, you fucking, I mean, why do it then? Why come back at us and do it? We don't care. Everyone was nice and happy without you. And now you've popped your head up. And it's not just to say sorry. If it was just to say, listen, I apologize. It was a shitty thing to say. I'm really hoping that I just want to get that off my chest. I don't care if you forgive or not. But it wasn't like that. It was like, I want to build bridges. I want to get back with you guys. I'm like, why would you fucking think that we are anywhere close to wanting you back? Every time you've been near us, you flake. And every single fucking time that, you've opened your mouth, it's been bullshit. And then he's on other podcasts or people's things talking about he fucking knows the singer from fucking Cannibal Corpse. He's hanging out with the dude from Cradle of the Filth. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, give me something. Oh, dude, it's like, if you're gonna name a band that not anyone really particularly likes in the genre, get the fucking name straight. So it was embarrassing to be around, and I just couldn't associate with it. And it's just because I just couldn't deal with him, and so he left, and that was fine. But you don't pop your fucking head back up and try to fucking smooth that bridge. Unburn that bridge. There was no bridge to begin with, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you make a comment about someone's wife, there's really no coming back from that to me. Someone says something about my wife, I'm like, okay, you're fucked. You're out. I'm not fucking, you're lucky I'm not beating your ass in the first part and wanting to you can apologize and I'll be like, cool, but don't think we're going to be cool. I'm just going to fucking, you do your thing. I'll do mine, but don't fucking try to cross paths with me or anything like that. Fuck no.
And the one person he did not apologize to was the person he attacked. And that to me speaks volumes of what the intent is. If I attacked like a lady and I apologize to everyone else except the lady, then I'm not fucking sorry about that shit. It doesn't cross my mind to want to say you want to mend that bridge. That'd be the first person I'd be apologizing to.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's what that's about. Interesting, but alrighty. Then I liked your promo for the Top Gun for I saw earlier today.
Iceman and the Goose, baby.
Woo!
Dude, I saw it somewhere and I was like, I just remember that scene where they're on the beach and their shirts are off and they're glistening. Yeah. And I could see a middle-aged fucking version of that in my, with the titties kind of jiggling for a little bit after we moved.
Gut fucking snacking around and
and if someone's got to go chase that ball, it's fucking time out for 10 minutes while he gets your breath. Like, I can see that And just that song, playing with the boys or whatever that fucking song is, man, with the sun shining.
That's hilarious.
To represent that than you and me, right?
Yeah, that would be a sight. Yeah, I want to throw this guy. I want to throw this guy in that mix too. He's going to be on that volleyball team, Mr. Paul Kai. Frazier too. Frazier's the ref, so he'll be terrible. Well,
he has to be there though.
Yeah. Aaron would have to be there as well too. Of course, Miss A is going to be there. My wife's going to be there. Megan's going to be there. I'm just fucking being silly, but yeah, that was great, dude. Yeah, man, you got to keep doing promos. Your promos are fucking excellent, dude. I was like, yeah.
My Mordant Red one. Did you see that one? That was a. I didn't know what to say.
Just a couple right before I came on, I saw that one. I was like, yeah.
I had a script and everything, and I'm like, you can't look. I got to give it out. Give it up for fucking Revit. That takes a ton of energy to do what he does, right? On everything, and he doesn't ever kind of drop out of character. I did one shot of it, and I just went, "This sounds so fucking dumb. Like I can't keep that intensity." And I was just like, "What else can I do? Let's just fuck up a singlet, shove it on my face, and then just fucking get my thing." But I was like, he is very good, and then it's so easy to lampoon it because it's so outlandish. But I gotta respect it, man. Like that fucking guy is a champion as far as social media goes. I wish I had an ape for that fucking
for sure, dude. And it's all it's all real at the same time. Like you could tell Revik's been a music fan for a very long time with the collection he has, and so it comes from a place of knowledge, and that's why I think it works so well. Now it was some guy that was trying to pull the same thing Revik does, but he just got into death metal, black metal two years ago or something. It wouldn't be as good. He wouldn't,
I mean, even J Dog, man, he's authentic. You can say that's a character that you've spoken to him. I've spoken to him. That's kind of him. Maybe the knob's down a bit, but it's fucking him.
When he's on camera, it's like an amplified version of himself for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's not like it's not a completely different person. When he's not,
very authentic.
Yeah, it's dialed down a little, obviously, but it's still fucking him. And I think that's why a lot of these guys are doing well, because it's authentic. It just, and it's entertaining as well. That's
100%.
It has to be a little entertaining.
Yeah, and I mean, look, he jumps on a Friday night. Fucking, what's he getting? Like 300 people tuning in every single fucking time. Like, you love him or hate him, fucking hell, he puts up with that shit.
Salutes to him, because I know a lot of the people that he's dealing with in his chat probably wouldn't be people he would want to talk to ever. That's just my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. But hey, he's killing it. He's getting like super chats, and I'm like, damn, he's gonna have his fest paid off here in no time if he does this every Friday, man. Because it is what it is. He's fucking killing it.
Yeah. And even if I had the same opinion, like I couldn't do the opinions with the same ferocity as what he does. I just don't care that much about other people's shit. But good, hats off to him, man. Him and the Mordants, fucking A.
Yeah, they
big shit entertaining.
I had a couple people solicit me for wanting to do reviews of their stuff and all that, and I just don't know if I want to get into that. You know what I mean? Because I like playing what I like. If it's played on my show, I like it. I don't want to play anything I don't like, and I don't know if I just want to deal with that.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I don't want to come out like I know a bunch of shit about the stuff that the scene that I like my bands, and they've kind of always stuck around. There's very rarely that I'll go outside of it, so I know half a dozen bands really, really well, and that's what I hear, and that's what I always play. And you can call it whatever you want, but that's what I enjoy. And a new band comes out, I listen to it. If I like it, then I check it out. But I don't know fuck all about them, and I couldn't tell you stuff that's going on in Texas before I got here. I just can't do it.
Sure, yeah.
I don't want to look like a dickhead, so do my best. Revik he's been here. He's fucking bought the tape. He's got the fucking t-shirt, so he knows what he's talking about. I can't. Can't do it.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Audio issue.
Can you hear me?
Play a song. Be right back.
Okay.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Something got unplugged on my mic here, and it never did that before, but whatever. We're
The
back.
kiss of death for audio, man. I told you that.
I was like, hey, god damn it, where's my mic? It broke. Yeah, we're back. Just had do the technical difficulties thing for a second. All right, dude. So you got this out. What are your next plans? I mean,
I've
is there
got
another recording coming down the pike?
Dude, I
already?
got so much shit, but you know what I'm doing now? I've kind of taken I was going to release just a bunch of shit because I didn't care about, like, whatever. I was just going to throw it there and see what goes on. But now I'm like, no, you know what I'm going to do? Because I've done this before and I've thrown out something, and now I look back and I'm like, fuck, that could have waited, or I shouldn't have done what I did. But now it's like I might just write for 6 to 12 months and then look at what I have and then pick the cream of the crop, because like I've got this, I've got this album. Like Megan did some artwork for me, and I was going to put it on this, and I was like, no, it doesn't suit, and it's on the next one, and I've done it. I've got this whole fucking thing going, but I'm like, if I throw it out right now, like I just want to sit with it, and I want to look at it for a while, and I want to make sure that it's still what I want to do in a few months' time. But the fucking artwork is so good, you know what I mean? I said, look, here's a battery, do something. And she just knocked this thing out, and I was like, fuck yeah, man, like this has got to have something. This is good. But I wanted the money to really put it so it's like you get it and it looks the way she showed it to me and the way I got it. You know?
Yeah, Megan just did the new Goat Hammer Records t-shirt, Show No Mercy, but with the Goat Hammer Records logo on it. So anybody's interested, go there and buy that fucking did I say Goat Hammer? Goat Throne Records. Damn. Warhammer, Goat Hammer, fuck Hammer. Goat Throne Records t-shirt. Sorry, Aaron. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me, man. Yeah.
But I was listening. I listened to that podcast that you did with Megan, and it's really good fucking interview. I will say.
Whoa.
And
give Megan the credit. That was her show, man.
That's what I mean. Like it's fun. Yeah, the way she I mean, it was just like wow. And but she did say something, and I want to bring it up. She said that I forced her. No, not forced her. She said I made her do something. I didn't make you do anything. What I said was, I like this, do something. And then she goes, I painted it. I went, oh, fuck, you painted it. That's awesome. That's great. So if you want really good artwork of Megan, do something. Give us something she's not going to want to do. And she pulls fucking magic out of the rabbit out of a hat for you.
She's going to have to struggle. Yeah, I think I just named it as Is there a band yet called Goat Hammer? Go ahead and take it, Drew. But I think there might be a Goat Hammer already.
There's enough hammers, Drew. You're already in one.
Yeah, the Drew Hammer.
Yeah, leave enough hammers for the rest of us.
That's what he tells the ladies. It's the Drew Hammer.
Tish.
Sorry, Drew. Yes, there is a Goat Hammer. Oh well. Womp womp womp. All right, dude. So, what else you want to talk about? Let's do it. Bring up.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We got past the logistics. We'll play another song. Don't worry.
Yeah, hit it.
You want to hear a song first and come back?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Let me find one here.
Can I pick one?
Yeah, for sure. Tell me which one.
I really loved the Thrive on Conflict.
Funny.
That is one of the new ones.
All right. Let's play it. Make sure to check in there.
We're out of the game, unable to continue pursuit. You better send a meat truck. Charlie's cocked a saucepan in the throat.
All right, now we're back. Yeah, that's a good one, dude. I like that.
Yeah, that gets me.
The slow part with the eerie atmosphere and all that. It's really fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, look, that song, when I wrote it, my mum had just passed, and I was going through the parts where you're supposed to go to sad and the angry or the whatever, denial, or all that shit.
Your
well, I got stuck on the anger, and then I was blaming everyone. So when she passed, they put her in a hospital, and everyone was away, and so she just died by herself in a hospital.
And this is
she was
back
with
in Australia, right? Obviously.
yeah.
Okay.
So there was no family, like everything and you die with all your loved ones. Well, she died by herself. And so I went through that, and even the people that were helping, I blamed them, like not outwardly to them, but, Miss A would tell you, but it was like I blamed them. I got a brother who I don't speak to. I blamed him. Where was he? And then, right in the midst of all that, the cat got sick, and that was like the final straw. So everyone, like the doctors, the people who tried to help, the people who didn't call back, it was like a war between all of them. So it was like that. I would have, like, if there was a button that would have stopped all of that and just killed a million people I would have fucking pushed that thing and kept fucking pushing it, because I was just that bitter about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I've kind of accepted that, this shitty things happen, but that was like that song which just expressed it, did it so well. And that riff, that big slow wave, was just exactly how I felt. You had good days. Even my mum, like she would talk to me. She'd be like, "I feel good," and I'm like, "Okay, she's on the mend. She's going to beat this. The cat had a good day. We've got this. We're going to fucking cure cancer right here in Jersey." But that's not going to happen. You know that you're looking at a bad situation, and you just don't want to accept it. And when it happens, you think you're blindsided. It's just, why the fuck? How the fuck did this happen? But so
it's going to happen, but your mind won't accept it. I've been that with family members and whatever, where, no, maybe, we'll have some type of miracle or something, because it looks like things are turning the corner this day or whatever. And then it's a roller coaster going through those type of situations of emotions, and it's rough. So I can see how that song captures those type of emotions that are happening during those periods. Yeah.
And the only thing that made me
gloomy, a wall of gloom or something with it. Yeah.
And the only thing that made me feel better was hating something, like it was just YouTube, people on YouTube, friends, anything that just took my mind away from what I was doing. It was like, this fucking prick don't deserve what he fucking, it would just be something just off the wall, and it would just set me off, but it would make me feel better that I could just rag on something for a while. Well, and it's the worst thing in the world.
It's not good, but it is like getting like negative toxin emotions out of you, even though it's not the most productive way of doing it. You still have to, you have to deal with shit. You can't bury it. It comes out one way or another.
Yeah, it'll wait. It'll stick around, when you least expect it. It comes back, especially when you're at work. And it's just a shitty all around. And then, to have two things go so quick, and I was powerless to do anything with any one of them.
Yeah,
it's just a shitty
part
thing.
That is so frustrating. Okay, some people notice, some don't. Almost 30 years ago, my first wife died.
Oh, wow,
we were young. Yeah, we were young, and it was cancer, aggressive cancer, breast cancer that went to the liver, and it is so fucking. I'm used to fucking making shit right, and you seem like the type of dude that does that in your life too, where you know what I mean. You have a problem, you fucking deal with it, and you solve it. You know what I mean? You fucking make shit right. And when you're put in one of those situations where you're not able to do that, it's frustrating. And next thing you know, it's beyond frustrating, because I never really dealt with it in that type of level before. You know what I mean? Where you just can't have the power to, I'm going to fucking fix this shit like I always do. So it's a hard thing to deal with, but then, you do, you fucking deal with it. You have to, you learn in life that you're not fucking, Superman, and you're not indestructible, and not everything fucking can be fixed, I guess is the thing. Yeah.
But and nothing like this.
Hey, there's no.
But there's nothing, you can save your money. You know what I mean? Like they always say, save for a rainy day. Oh yeah, you'll fix some things, but there's some things where you think you batten down all the hatches, and I thought that we were good, and we had, we had money in the bank, We had fucking, all the care we could get. We went out and got, we were going to get insurances, but they wouldn't take him on because of his age and what was going on. So we had the loans. We were ready to fight. And I mean, I guess when your parents die, you kind of accept that in a weird way because that's the natural order of life,
That's
right? You expect your parents to die before you do.
Yeah.
But when someone that's below you, in the sense that you're looking after them, that is like it's very, very hard. Like I couldn't imagine losing a child. Like that would be the worst. And this was the closest that, I want to come in my life. And I mean, everyone's lost a pet. You know what it's like.
Yep.
Someone goes, "It's just a cat." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just a cat, but it's our cat." And it's like
it's
we
part
couldn't
of your
fix.
Family.
Yeah, and he looked for us like your kids will. They look to you to say, "I'm sick. I don't know what's wrong," and you can't do anything except, And by the end of it, it's like we're just taking you out of the misery, and it's so sad that they know. It's almost like they know that you know that they know. You know what I mean? It's a really bad thing. I didn't want to handbrake this fucking stream, but that's that song in 4 minutes of just pain and suffering and tears. So,
Well,
you're welcome, chat.
misery makes some great music. That's just a kind of bona fide fact in music. Especially if there's a real fucking connection behind it. Damn. All right. Well, that's our mental health aspect of the show. That's fucking funny.
Suicide hotline, run that across the box.
Yeah. Get this out of here. Put the hotline. If you're needing help, call the Witching Hour hotline.
Yeah, don't
For a
forget
low
super
fee
chat.
of $100 an hour, Necron will get you through. Oh, shit. So, what else you got going, Lee? I saw you went to Ohio.
Dude, we had...
Tell us about that trip, man. What was going on there?
I've never really seen this. I've seen both sides of the country, never seen the center of it. So that's as close as I've been. But I just wanted to one day just drive this, and Ohio seemed like it was 8 hours away. We jumped in the car, there was snowing, and we just set off on this. We were going to make it or we were going to die trying. So we drove all the way, beautiful mountains. The countryside in this country is second to none. Everyone needs to get off a plane and jump in a car and go driving. Yep. And we had a blast, and we got there, and it's like, well, you got all the Mordant Red guys there. You got Tone Joker, you got Rich, your fucking Bo was there. Like anyone that you just ran into these people that you speak to, but you didn't really know who they were. Yeah, and I mean, obviously we'd know Tone and Rich, but even like just the small things where we go out for dinner, and we didn't realise that they were in a nice hotel. Miss A and I stayed down the road, but they were in this swanky motel. And we were going out for dinner, but it was Valentine's Day. So we rock up to this place, and we're dressed pretty much like this.
Yeah.
And we're going to a show. And all these people are dressed up, taking their significant others out. And we just look like dirtbags. We rocked in there, and they couldn't sit us any further away from humanity if they tried,
Oh, they got the back corner in the back.
Yeah. So Miss A and I go sit on this far corner, and then Rich and Tone rock up, and they are like fucking New Yorkers, man. I love them. They don't give two fucks about what's going on. It could be a wedding, could be whatever. It's New York's in the house, right?
Yeah.
And they show up, and they're just pulling chairs, man. Chair. I'm like, fucking sweet. Let's just sit down. And they're like, oh no, you can't sit here. This is already booked. I'm like, we're just gonna eat, get a drink, and get out of here. And they're like, no, we're gonna find you a table. So they manage in it wasn't crowded, but they said it was booked out. Find us a table, and they sit us now amongst the people, which must have been biting their nails. And we're telling dick jokes, and we're talking about fucking just anything and everything. And I didn't hear it, but allegedly the table next to us made a comment that was kind. Anyway, they called us cretins, and so we have dubbed Tone, Rich, and myself and the wife. We're now if we go somewhere, we're going on the Cretins tour. I want fucking t-shirts made. I want the whole fucking 9 yards. So it's like those things like that, man. They make those trips, and we didn't even get to the show yet. So I mean, those type of little events just make those trips so much fun, And then you got guys drinking in the fucking things, walking down 3 o'clock in the morning. Like the Revit stories you hear, you think there's some of them have got to be embellished. Dude, they're fucking real. Like 3 o'clock in the morning, drunk off your fucking tits, walking down a swanky motel's hallway, screaming at the top of your lungs, you know, and whatever. And these guys are hungry, rich, almost like a fucking highway robberies, a fucking DoorDash driver for his pizza. Like, it's just the coolest little. Everything just happens one after the other.
Yeah, I call that like when you go to a fest or an out of town show, or you're on tour dates or whatever. It's just like you're living like metal, carefree. You don't gotta worry about your job. You don't gotta worry about it. You just it's just fucking great. And I know what you're saying too, because the stuff that happens in between the show, and Francisco brought this up too, and it totally makes sense. The stuff that happens, playing the show or being at the show and watching the bands, that's all great. But I think all the fun stuff and the best stuff happens in between all that, like traveling or some bullshit that happens in the gas station or whatever the case. It's always like the best stories and all that. I remember like one time my wife right now. Hod was playing in Austin, and we kind of had to stay at a nicer hotel, right? It had like a nice lobby, all these nice people there. So we're coming through with all our gear and our bags and all that. And I don't know how my wife did this, but she's walking right behind me, and out of her fucking purse falls a bottle of JD, right on the ground, just smashes, and she just keeps walking like nothing happened. She don't know, and everybody's looking, and she's like, doop doo doo. Just kept on walking on, and everybody's like,
somebody else will deal with that.
What are we gonna do? Like, we're not gonna say, oh hey, can you clean this up? We're just like, oh well, we just fucking lost a bottle of JD, but oh well. It's just stupid little things like that. You always will remember. Like. Yeah, Yvonne fucking dropped that bottle and just kept walking like nothing. She goes, yeah, I'm sure everybody thought I was a real whore walking in with this band, and I'm dropping a bottle of JD.
Oh man, even the first motel, or the only motel when we went there, they give us the room keys, and we go up, we open the door, and there's like a naked man on our bed. And I was,
now see what the hell?
I know, but that is gorgeous. Like it was. I would have run in and got a photo with him if it wouldn't have been, not socially acceptable. Yeah. But I'm sure he didn't want us in there. But nothing like to be laying on your bed, naked in your room,
just chilling.
What do you think you're doing? And then just fucking two people walk in, and it's like, hey, how are you? Put the lock on the door. Whatever you're doing, dude. It's so much fun. If Fran puts on another show, which I'm pretty sure, I mean, he's got to at this point, all right? I mean, he's having success.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll do another one.
Like, we are there. I don't care who dies this time. It's like, we're fucking, you can just die now. We just come into the show because, like, I would bet $100 that we had just as much, if not more fun than any band that played on that stuff. Because it was, everyone was a friend.
I don't even think it was even like, the band's playing was cool and that was entertainment, but it was really about the whole, Joe Ava-verse community just hanging out, having a fucking, a thing, dude. That was great. I was.
You knew people before you got there, and everyone was chillaxed, and we've made friends, which I think I'm hoping would be lifelong friends just by going to these shows, and they're exactly like you and me, They're just regular people who fucking love to have a good time, and then they go home and they work, and they hopefully play at the next one,
Yeah, until the next one rolls around. We bang on our fucking instruments, make some music in between, and fucking that's about it,
Yeah. So if you want to be the black metal cult guy who sits in his room and fucking hates the world, more power to you. But you go to a show, man, it's way cooler.
It's way cooler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like any type of crybaby black metal. Actually, I'm not. I don't like any of that. I already had this fucking spew earlier about how it ruined black metal and things like that. So we're not even going to go. Watch the beginning if you want to see that. Now let's talk about, because some more people have joined us, the release of the album again. We got to plug it a couple times here. So it's coming out May 1st.
Yeah,
May 1st. Where can they get it? Where, like, do they go to the Warhammer Bandcamp, Warhammer666 Bandcamp? Where are you going to have it for sale?
Everything's going to be on FomorianProductions.com. And it'll be $10 on the site. However, we do have a a stream going on Thursday night, like a little party, on Shredbeard's channel. And
So
if you
need
get
to
onto
over
that,
there. Okay.
yeah.
good.
And now, if you
Shredbeard.
do, we're gonna say thank you for coming over by giving like a discount on the release day CD, so you can pick it up cheaper than what you would if you got it the day after or whatever. So if you are going to buy it on May 1st, hang out till 8 o'clock at night or something, and come on for 2 seconds and have a look, and then you go buy the fucking thing cheaper. But
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, because I want I just want it out there. And this is a special one. There's an extra song on this fucking CD that you ain't going to find on the regular version of it. So this is the digipack.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is it like the Digipacks limited?
Well, it's limited in the sense that it's got an extra song on it, and then after it's gone, I'm not going to put that song on anything else. I just want.
Well, that's what I mean. Like once the Digipacks are gone, you won't get that extra song on there anymore, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So this is going to be a regular version. So it'll be it'll still be cool, but it won't be that.
Yeah. No, I mean that happens all the time, but that's like kind of like a good incentive to get in there and buy that first version.
Yeah, and get it cheap on the day.
Yeah. Fuck. Come on. And when's May 1st? Is that on Friday?
That's on Thursday. Thursday night that you'll be able to get it cheaper, but Thursday day it'll go on sale first thing in the morning. If you're really keen to give us an extra few dollars, that'd be great. But if not, hang out, wait for the night time, pick it up. I got more copies than what I did of the Ramit CD, so I'm not running out of this prick. Well, not as fast as I did the other one. So I've made sure that I've kind of catered for what I think I can get rid of. So
well,
that
I
sounds
think
good,
it's
doesn't
a fucking killer release, and I think if
I'm
you're
happy
like
with
a
it.
black metal fucking person, I think you'll fucking dig this album. It's fucking good black metal, real black metal. It's like
And it's got some melody on it. Look, I'm a hook and a chorus guy, so it's got choruses, it's got all that stuff, and it's got some hate and anger and snarl to it. So
yeah, it's a good balance of everything on the records. When I caught, when I was listening to the whole thing a couple of times, and I was like, there's a good mix. It's not just like one thing, constant blast beats, or I'm a sucker for constant blast beats, but I get it.
Yeah,
some people might be like, okay, all right, with that blasting song, okay.
as soon as I get JD, it's going to be blasting for fucking 10 songs, 40 fucking minutes.
and he'll
Coming for you, buddy. Smiling. He'll be fucking smiling. Just, it'll be fucking great.
Any way to get past Warhammer 666 CDs?
Yeah, Fomorian Productions. There's the Ramit, and there's the True Australian Black Metal CD on that.
Does Fomorian, do they have a Bandcamp too, or do you have to go to Fomorian Productions?
No, because we couldn't figure it out. It was too hard for us to figure it out. We couldn't figure out why it was doing things that it does, and then it wouldn't recognize us as people that was trying to start it. It was weird. I didn't get involved, but I know. I was like, fuck this. Yeah, so we just put it onto the other thing. I didn't know if you could sign up under an artist and just do it.
Yeah.
I don't think we tried that. We tried to sign up as a label, and it just went fucking tits up on us. So we just did the website instead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, tune in Thursday night on Shredbeard's channel and check it out. Are you going on anybody else's channels? Are you doing a tour?
Yeah. So I've got I'm going to do what Shred's on Thursday. I've got I'm going to do the Goat Metal show over the weekend, and then me and Metal Ben are going to go head to head. I want to I think Metal Ben's knowledge of the old school stuff that I got into is fucking crazy good, and I haven't seen him really go balls deep in it. So me, I saw him do a Judas Priest thing the other night. I'm like, fuck you, this is all wrong. Why the fuck someone like Nostra fucking Damus? So it's I want to go hardcore into Benny's old school stuff and try to, and look, I've got a real soft spot for his show late at night, because it's when I'm completely hammered after the Joe Evers or after your show, and it's he's a calm down for me until I pass out. So he's the last voice that I hear when I go to sleep at night.
Gotcha.
So I think I've wanted to talk to him for a while. So we've set that up for Sunday night. Sunday night at I think it's 10 o'clock or something like that. But that's going to be late for me because I got to get up for work the next day. But I'm doing it, so it's going to be cool.
Yeah, that'll be a good time. metal
Yeah.
band, That Goat Metal Show, and Shredbeard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else who wants to talk to me, I've tapped out my friends. So anyone else that wants to chat with a fucking bearded dumbass, come and talk to me.
I got something going on tomorrow. People might be interested. Let me find it.
Oh fuck you! I'll be there.
You might be interested in this. I don't know. Let's see. Let me get this out of here. So, but it has to be a little earlier because it's on Ledney time, not my time. But tomorrow at 5 p.m., Paul Ledney will be on the Witching Hour, 5 p.m. Central Time. So just come back here tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll have an interesting conversations. There some things I want to pick his brain on, and he agreed to come on the channel. Now, you know, it's funny. I just took Francisco's advice, and that is just ask people if they want to come on the channel. That's all I did.
Yeah.
That's all you do. Either they can say yay or nay, you know, and you move on. So I asked
if they can't
them,
do it, they can't fucking do it. It's not like they don't want to do it. It's just they can't fucking do it. I get it, you know, and shit happens. But Ledney, man, I was excited about that for you because I'd be like, I love listening to him talk. Just let him talk and just like I love the stories. Him and Dawn of the Dead, like they can talk forever, and I would just sit there and just go into my fucking beard, you know.
There's really no need for me to fucking yap my mouth off. I just like, you know, kind of say this and that and lead, you know, and let him do his thing, and hopefully, you know, it works out well.
And he's at a point where he can dispute a lot of the history that's been accepted. All right, like he can dispute the Vargs, and he can dispute, and it's not like because he read about it or he's an historian. He was because he was fucking right in the middle of it. Yeah.
That's that's where unfortunately, a lot of the younger kids don't. I don't know if they don't realize that or recognize that, but you got to really listen to the people who were there.
Yeah.
You know, the people who were there are going to tell you what happened. You know, people who read about it or heard about it. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I would never take that as an undisputed fact. You know?
Yeah. They have their biases, right?
Of course. So I when I hear from people who were there, you know, and were able to, you know, say, well, I actually, and that's when it's a good, well, actually, because, you know, they were there. They lived it.
Yeah.
So.
And the J-Dog interview was good, except he's a death metal guy. You know what I mean? I kind of, it's like mixing chocolate and strawberry, right? Like, I want to see the guy who's deep in the roots, like yourself, in the, like that scene, go up against a guy who's in that fucking scene. And that to me is like, that's too well, that's the, what is it? The aligning of the stars. So that will be something which I'll be here.
Paul is, you know, he's even rooted even more than I am in it, you know, because he goes back further with Pro Fanatica and whatever else. So at least in, you know, straight up fucking total black metal. And so yeah, it's gonna be an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish I was a fly on the wall for that. Oh, I will be. I'll be a fly on my wall. Watching it.
Everyone
awesome.
will be if you can. Because I'm deleting it up. No. No replay. Nah. Well. You know, it'll be a good time. All right, dude, I think we covered bases here. Let's play one more song, and we'll come back and wrap it up. What do you think here?
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, any other requests from you if you want me to play a certain song?
Satanic Warlust. Let's go with that.
I know everybody's going to say echo, echo. Give me a minute. All right, there you go. That was fucking killer. I like the Evil Dead at the end there too. That was fucking cool.
There's my satanic song for you. Every black metal album needs a satanic song, right?
At least one, right? Oh yeah, swallow this. All right. Well, Lee, thanks for coming on. Everybody
Thank you.
again.
Can I also thank? Can I just thank some before we go?
Yeah,
And I'm not going to say why. I just want to thank them out of the for both myself and Miss A, Kerry, Tone, Rich, Barry, and I know I'm forgetting people, but like those guys stepped up. They didn't have to, and they just thank you so much for everything you did. That was it helped us through. So thank you, and to you, Carl, as well.
Hey, no problem. You know, we all become a little community here, so we kind of gotta look out for each other. When we can help, right? That's how it goes, man.
Yeah.
All right. But again, May 1st, the album, as the kids say, drops on FormorianProductions.com. Go get it. Warhammer666. It's self-titled album. So if you're looking for it, which album is it? It's the Warhammer666 album. That's self-titled album.
Got this big ugly mug on the face. Can't miss
Yeah,
it.
here we go. It looks a lot like this.
No god complexes there. All right.
Yeah. All right. Hey, man. Thanks, Lee. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, like I said, tomorrow we'll have Paul Ledney on if everything goes as planned, and hopefully it will. Knock on wood. All right, man. We'll see you guys next time. Later.
What is light without